up. That way we could start chatting about this awesome topic. I'm just waiting to see if there's going to be some people coming in for us. All right. So today, this was kind of just like a fun thing I wanted to do for everybody, especially during a live. I don't know if there will be participants. I'm okay with either way, but I wanted to talk about the Clairs, which I was really excited to pretty much just step into for a quick overview. For those of you that participated in our 30-day challenge, I am admiring your commitment. I'm admiring my commitment and that we got to do that 30 days of activating our clairs together. So that was pretty awesome. I figure we would talk about the different clairs. There's 11 that I know of. I don't know if there's more or less, but this is kind of what I wrote about in my book, in the Cosmic Connection. There's claircognizance, which is intuitive knowledge, clairvoyance, which is intuitive vision, to see things as they come or could be, clairaudience, which is the intuitive audio, where you like hear things that might not actually be happening, whether that's animals or people, or experiencing sounds that may not be around you. Clairsentience, which is knowing by feeling, so gut feelings, things like that. There's clairsalience, which is the ability to smell something, whether it's there or not there. There is clairtangency, which is to touch like a object or having touched an object and knowing where it is or from. And then clairtaction, where you have to hold the object for a period of time to get feelings or some like feedback about it from wherever it's from. There's clairgustance, which is similar to clairsalience. So, like when you're tasting, being able to taste something that maybe you didn't have, like say it's a grandma's pie or like cigarettes or like something like that, so that you can have that experience. Clairempathy, which is to feel other people's feelings. And then claireloquence, which is like it's saying the right words, like channeling, basically, saying things that come through and just knowing what to say. Then there's clairessence, which is kind of an interesting one. Clairessence is the embodiment of self. So it's like when you walk into the room and you know what to do, where to be, how to act, how to behave. It's just embodying you for whatever is being asked of you in that environment. So those are the 11 clairs, which is a really cool little lowdown of all of that. I will walk you guys through more of that. So let's check out the other parts of this. So this is my school that you guys will be able to have access to if you decide to join. It's called the Cosmic Crystals. In that, I put in so much information for you guys, like details of all of the clairs, you name it. There's stuff about my book in here and all that, but I put basically a little lowdown here to talk to you guys about each of the different clairs and like how they can affect you. So we'll get into that right now. Okay. So thank you guys for joining, and I wanted to basically give us a little activation intention. That way you guys can do this at home. For those that got to participate, they'll be able to take away from this from the full month of experience that they got to participate in. If you guys want to be a part of that challenge too and test your clairs, you can visit me at the school, SKOOL toolkit.com/cosmic crystals. You can definitely get it down below once this is posted, because this is a live, and you'll be able to connect and do the same challenges that I'm going to be posting every month. But for this one, we'll be talking about pretty in-depth down low of like what the clairs are. So we'll start with clairvoyance, which is clear seeing, the most common one that people know about. Psychic sight, symbols, visions, mental imagery, being able to activate it. I put a couple of experiences that you could do, but one of the coolest ones is being able to do like remote viewing. I don't know if people have heard of remote viewing, but it's basically where in a meditative state you can see, like, say it's the room next to you and you're not in the room, or say it's like your friend's house while you're on the phone and you have like that download of what's going on for them, right? I feel like that's kind of a really cool example. The way that you can meditate on this is using actually candles, because candles are a great helper when it comes to focusing your senses and being able to tap into a clear focus. Quick little water break. Next is that clairaudience, being able to hear. So sound baths are great for this. Automatic writing as well. But sound baths are cool because the activation is through hearing the frequencies. When you are able to discern and distinguish different frequencies, you can tune in to other things around you. Like, I've had people during my sound baths have crazy experiences where they're like, wow, I witnessed something crazy and special, or heard things like, well, there are people talking. And I'm like, no, nobody was talking, you know? So to practice with this, I would listen to sound baths, frequency, hertz music, chanting. There's a practice that you could do with chakras where you like look up the sounds specific to the chakras and you can chant those sounds, and it's pretty spectacular. Clairsentience, another of the most common that people talk about. It is clear feeling. So feeling emotional or energetic information from people or environments. It's like getting a hint about like what's going on. Like, say somebody's like going through something, or like it's off, or you're like, oh, I feel something about, I don't know what I'm feeling, but there's something about this. So to practice this, you could actually do energy activation. One of those things is rubbing the hands creates a stimuli, so it's like this electric activation. And some people do it with crystals. Some people can do it like with asking the emotions that their people are around them. You can practice with a partner, and you can actually tell them to change their feelings, or like think about something specific, sad, happy, whatever, and then you can practice that feeling. For claircognizance, you can do, this is basically like the sudden insight or knowledge without logical explanation. You can practice with card pulls, which are probably the best for this. You can do journaling or automatic writing or meditation. I would recommend like a super meditation, just because it's like being able to have a clear sense. Like, you don't want to be stimulated by other outside forces. So when you are in something called a theta state, you're in a deep meditative state. In order to get there, I would suggest doing some kind of super meditation, like whether it's listening to music or hypnotherapy, so you could get under. And then when you're doing that, you can ask specific questions and get insight about it, like with your card pulls or whatnot. So clairsalience, I'm going to put the S back in there, but it basically is being able to smell things or get information from smells off of either a person or a situation. So I remember when I was doing readings, and there were people who would have like this scent come around them. So like sometimes I would get, for example, my grandfather smoked Marlboro Reds and Camels. and it's a very distinct smell between the two. So I remember when like I felt like he was around, I would smell that very, very potently, and I'm like, I guess he's here, you know, because we're talking to my mom about her birthday, and he's there, right? So it's, I think that would be part of it. The coffee is so good. To practice it, it's like disassociation techniques, but it's also like being able to distinguish like your sense. This one's more of like if you have it, like it's a natural thing, like you'll just smell things all the time off of people that they probably don't have around them or haven't done. You might have to just get very familiar with scents and be able to pick up on the nuances of smelling, because sometimes people don't really pay attention to what they're smelling. So I would suggest getting very familiar with the smells that you're experiencing around you. Same thing with tasting, exactly the same, where it's like if you practice like sensations of taste and you're very discerning of like what tastes are coming through. These two are very much so, if you have that sensory, like that gift will be pretty natural, and if you don't, it's okay. Maybe you just don't have that connection. But you can practice with getting familiar with flavor indications. There's the claritangency, the psychometry, which we talked about that, but it's basically where you touch things, artifacts, books, paperwork, clothing, whatever, and you get a sense of the history or wherever the attachment was to the object. So to practice that, you can do that with any objects of your friends or old objects that you got at like a it's so crazy, but you could go to like a what are they called, like a shop where they have like old stuff that you could buy, refurbished stuff or whatever, and then you can practice that way. But definitely protect yourself if you're going to go touch old stuff that you don't know where it's been, like using crystals and energy cleansing whenever you're touching anything antique. There's Clair apathy. This one is similar to, let me go back. This one is similar to the empathy, so feeling, and then Clair eloquence. So being able to like know things. Clair telepathy, it's like telepathy basically. This one is very challenging to do. You could do it with animals, is probably the best practice for Clair telepathic communication. You can sit with a dog or a cat and like they'll know things from you. Like you could practice with them and being like, oh, like, do you want this? Like, what you, if they're talkative, like, can you communicate back with me? I do that with my cat all the time, but she's a very communicative cat. Some animals just are not on that level, but it's being able to kind of mess around with that. You can also practice by sending images to someone. So I told people in the monthly, like you could practice with a partner and send them like a call me, but with the way this works is somebody has to be on the same wavelength as you. So if they're not on that wavelength, it's a little bit challenging to send mind-to-mind connection. But if you're really close to somebody, this is really easy to do, is send information. Clair cognizance, the emotion, empath, emotional awareness, being able to feel emotions from other people and how they're experiencing it. Basically what they take away from, it's the same thing as being able to see in the future. So you can feel like what's going on around, tracking energy in the groups, feeling what people are going through. There's dreaming, which is a powerful one that you can mess around with too. In your dreams, you can control outcomes, so messing around with conscious sleep. And then also you could do downloads where you're getting information. And then finally there is your intuition, gut instincts, which happens by just knowing. To practice this, you can meditate, you could do muscle testing. Some people will be like, what's my yes? And you'll ask yourself an obvious yes question and watch where your body moves. That's the best way to do it. As I put here, most people naturally have 2 to 3. Some people have a lot more. Some people only have like 2, but most people have 1. Like, I've never met somebody who doesn't have one of these gifts. It's just being able to train it, and examples of people who have things like this: empaths or clairsentients and claircognizant. Visual people are clairvoyants, and then musicians can be like the clairaudient, where they just intuitively hear the sound and they can replicate it, right? So I wanted to talk about all of that because I feel like clairs are just such a cool topic, like being able to understand the different ways that you can use your gifts and how you could tap and tune into it. So one of the activations that I was going to do for you guys here is basically we're going to practice our Clair empathy. Clair empathy is being able to tap into the emotions of others. This is the most common that I've met among people. You could tell like somebody in the room is down. You could tell when somebody's going through something. You could feel that experience. So I feel like practicing this, you basically just want to sit within the body when you're in a space. Get a sense of like the feeling around you. Some people will feel like a heat around them, or they'll feel a coolness. Paying attention to what you're feeling, and then discern, is the heat positive, or is it their emotion behind it? Like, is somebody upset, or are they happy? And just feeling those different emotions and distinguishing when you're experiencing it, what feeling am I getting? What's the heat, the temperature that I'm experiencing? But yeah, that was our Clairs. That was the month. I will put all of my links down in the bottom here. And I just wanted to come on and do like a quick fun chat about the Clairs. I feel like this was such a fun topic and everybody was so into it that they were like, I want more. So if you guys want to do more of these activations, I would definitely say check out not only the YouTube but my school, so that you could be actively participating, and you can join us for our monthly challenges that I'd like to throw at people for spiritual development, just for fun. So thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I will see you in the next one. And make sure that you guys sip that spirituality, as we say for my podcast, and I'll see you guys later.